He wanted revenge until he lost himself. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a successful businessman named Imran. He was respected by all, known for his integrity and fairness. But behind this facade of success and happiness, Imran harbored a deep-rooted anger that threatened to consume him. The reason for his wrath was a tragic incident from his past. Years ago, Imran's brother had been falsely accused and imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. Despite Imran's efforts to prove his brother's innocence, justice had been elusive. The wound of betrayal and injustice festered, turning into an insatiable desire for revenge. Imran found himself consumed by thoughts of vengeance day and night. It became the driving force of his life, eclipsing everything else. His sleep was filled with dreams of retribution, and his waking hours were spent plotting his brother's release and punishing those responsible for his wrongful conviction. He dedicated every spare moment and every waking hour to this singular purpose. He scoured through old case files, interviewed witnesses, and even bribed a few officials to dig up dirt on those who had wronged his brother. Years went by and Imran's obsession with revenge only intensified. He started neglecting his business and his relationships, choosing the cold comfort of his dark vendetta over the warmth of human connection. Friends and colleagues grew concerned, sensing the turmoil within him. They tried to talk him out of his obsession, but Imran was adamant. He couldn't rest until justice was served. His quest for revenge had become his identity, and he was willing to sacrifice everything to uphold it. Meanwhile, the people responsible for his brother's imprisonment remained unfazed. They had gotten away with their crime, and they continued to live their lives blissfully, unaware of the storm that Imran had become. They reveled in their success and happiness, mocking the futility of Imran's efforts from their comfortable ivory towers. For them, Imran's brother's imprisonment was just a minor setback, a blip in their otherwise perfect lives. They had brushed off the incident long ago, leaving Imran to stew in his own bitterness. But Imran wasn't about to give up. He had come too far and endured too much to let his brother down. He would not rest until his brother was free and those responsible were brought to justice. Imran continued his relentless pursuit of revenge, driven by the burning desire to right the wrongs of the past. Then one day, a breakthrough came. After years of tireless effort, Imran uncovered new evidence that cast serious doubts on his brother's guilt. With renewed hope, he presented this evidence to the authorities, demanding a retrial. The news of the new evidence sent shockwaves through the city. People began to question the validity of the previous trial, and the media scrutiny intensified. Imran's brother's case became a hot topic of debate, with many calling for a thorough investigation. The people responsible for the wrongful conviction panicked. They knew that the new evidence could overturn everything they had built their lives on. They had lived for years under the shadow of their crime, but now it was coming back to haunt them. Their carefully constructed facades began to crumble under the weight of Imran's relentless pursuit of truth. As the pressure mounted, these individuals took drastic measures to protect themselves. They tried to bribe officials, intimidate witnesses, and even spread false rumors to discredit Imran. But Imran was prepared. He had anticipated their reactions and had taken steps to counter their moves. He had recorded statements from witnesses, gathered irrefutable evidence, and made copies of crucial documents. Nothing the guilty could throw at him would deter him from his goal. Slowly but surely, Imran's efforts began to pay off. The new evidence was too strong to be ignored, and the authorities were forced to take action. The people responsible for his brother's wrongful conviction were arrested and brought to justice. Finally, after years of waiting, Imran's brother was exonerated and set free. The entire city erupted in celebration. People took to the streets, waving banners and chanting slogans in support of Imran and his brother. There were parades and fireworks as the community rejoiced in the triumph of justice. It was a moment of euphoria, a feeling of vindication that washed over Imran like a tidal wave. But as the celebrations reached their peak, something unexpected happened. Imran, the man who had dedicated his life to revenge, felt a strange emptiness. The joy and elation that everyone else was feeling eluded him. In his moment of triumph, he realized that the years of anger and hatred had taken a toll on him. He was now consumed by bitterness and resentment, so much so that he no longer felt the warmth of human connection or the joy of success. It dawned on him that in his relentless pursuit of revenge, he had neglected his relationships, sacrificed his happiness, and allowed anger to define him. The irony was not lost on him. He had sought revenge because someone had wronged him, yet in doing so, He had ended up hurting himself more than anyone else. Overwhelmed by this realization, Imran retreated from the celebrations, seeking solace in solitude. He needed time to process the whirlwind of emotions that had been raging within him for so long. As he looked back on his journey, he saw the countless moments he had missed, the opportunities he had squandered, and the people he had pushed away. The cost of revenge was high, and he was left to bear it alone. In the quiet of his solitude, Imran began to heal. He started to understand that forgiveness and moving on were not signs of weakness, but acts of strength. He realized that he couldn't change the past, but he could choose to let go of the anger that had been holding him back. It was a difficult journey, but with each passing day, Imran felt the burden of his anger lifting. He slowly began to reconnect with the world, reaching out to the friends and family he had neglected. It was a slow process, but he was determined to rebuild the bridges he had burned. Looking back, Imran knew that his journey was a cautionary tale. The thirst for revenge had nearly destroyed him, but it had also given him the strength and resilience to change. He emerged from the ordeal wiser and more compassionate, understanding the importance of letting go of anger and the transformative power of forgiveness. And so the tale serves as a reminder that while revenge may seem like a righteous path, it is a dangerous one. The flames of anger can burn bright, but they can also consume the one who holds them. True strength lies in the ability to rise above the desire for revenge and embrace forgiveness and understanding. Let this story be a beacon, guiding us all to choose compassion over vengeance and understanding over hatred. For in the end, it is not the absence of anger, but the presence of love and forgiveness that truly sets us free. Thank you.